One of the NBA's biggest legends, Charles Barkley, once kissed a donkey's ass on national television. Yes, you heard that right. And the craziest part? It all happened because of a single bet, one he thought he'd never lose. How did one of basketball's greatest players, a Hall of Famer, an MVP, and now a broadcaster, end up in one of the strangest, most infamous moments in sports television? To understand this story, we have to rewind just a few days. It's November 17th, 2002, in Los Angeles. The defending champion Lakers are limping through the start of the season. After dominating the league with a three-peat, the dynasty suddenly looks vulnerable. Shaquille O'Neal, their dominant center, delayed his off-season surgery, famously declaring, "I got hurt on company time, so I'll heal on company time." That decision left the Lakers undermanned, frustrated, and stuck with a 3-6 record. Without Shaq, everything fell on Kobe Bryant's shoulders. He was entering his prime and doing everything possible to keep the Lakers competitive. But on this night, their opponent was bringing something completely new, something the NBA had never seen before. The Houston Rockets had just drafted the most unique prospect in basketball history, a player who wasn't just tall, wasn't just skilled. He was a phenomenon. Standing 7 feet, 6 inches tall, Yao Ming was more than an athlete. He was the face of an entire nation. This wasn't just another regular season matchup. It was Kobe Bryant fighting to keep the Lakers alive. It was Yao Ming's chance to prove he belonged. And for Charles Barkley, it was the start of a bet that would change NBA television forever. To understand the weight of this moment, you first have to understand Yao Ming. He was born in Shanghai in 1980. Yao wasn't just another tall kid. He was practically born into basketball. His father stood 6 feet 10. His mother was 6 feet 2. And both were former captains of China's national teams. It's no exaggeration to say Yao was raised to play the game.
He's got good skills for an 18-year-old, and then he's 7'5". You can't teach that. And he's always trying to get better. Every day he comes out, works hard on his defense and his rebounding and moving his feet. And he's still really enthusiastic about the game. And eventually he's going to be a great basketball player.
By the time he was 13, Yao was already training with the Shanghai Sharks youth program, designed to make him into China's next basketball star. At 17, he debuted with the Sharks senior squad, towering at 7 feet 5. He immediately drew attention whenever he stepped on the court. Still, his dream wasn't limited to China. He wanted to reach the NBA, inspired by his idol, Hakeem Olajuwon. But his path to the NBA wasn't easy. In 1999, the Shanghai Sharks general manager pressured him to enter the NBA draft under one condition. He had to sign with their general manager, whom he calls Mr. X in his memoir, as his representative. The problem? Mr. X demanded 33% of Yao's earnings, an outrageous number. Fortunately, the NBA Players Association intervened, and Yao was released from the agreement. Still, there were bigger obstacles. After another Chinese player, Wang Jizhi, refused to return home from the Dallas Mavericks, Chinese officials became cautious. They worried Yao would do the same, so they set strict conditions. He must play for the national team every summer. He must be drafted number 1 overall. And, according to rumors, he might even have to send half of his salary back to China. Only once those demands were met did the Sharks allow him to declare for the draft. On June 26, 2002, history was made.
With the first pick in the 2002 NBA Draft, the Houston Rockets select Yao Ming from Shanghai, China, and the Shanghai Sharks.
The Houston Rockets selected Yao Ming with the first overall pick, the first international player ever drafted number 1 without playing college ball in the U.S. Yao wasn't just entering the NBA, he was carrying the weight of 1.3 billion people on his shoulders. While Yao Ming was preparing to enter the NBA, another giant of the game was stepping away. Charles Barkley retired in 2000 after 16 seasons in the league. He was an 11-time All-Star, an MVP, and one of the most dominant forwards the game had ever seen, but Barkley was more than just a player. He was outspoken, unfiltered, and always willing to say what others wouldn't. After retirement, TNT brought him into their studio show, Inside the NBA, alongside Ernie Johnson and Kenny Smith. What started as a gamble quickly became television gold. Ernie was the calm host, Kenny the instigator, and Barkley the wild card. Their chemistry turned Inside the NBA into one of the most entertaining sports shows on television. It wasn't just about highlights or box scores. It was about personality, humor, and honesty. By 2002, TNT doubled down on that success, launching a pregame show called Listen Up, featuring the same trio. Barkley, never afraid to stir the pot, thrived in this new setting. The early 2000s were a different NBA media landscape. Social media didn't exist yet. There was no constant stream of takes on Twitter or debate shows dominating every network. Instead, TNT's broadcasts were where fans turned for both analysis and entertainment. And Barkley was the star attraction. When he made a prediction, people listened. When he gave an opinion, it made headlines. And when he made a bet on live television, people remembered. So when a 7'6" rookie from China entered the league, struggling to score, Barkley didn't hold back. He didn't just doubt Yao Ming. He turned that doubt into one of the boldest, funniest, and most ridiculous wagers in sports broadcasting history. But before we get there, Yao had to prove himself, and his start in the NBA was anything but easy. When Yao Ming was drafted first overall in 2002, the excitement was enormous, but so was the skepticism. Many analysts doubted whether his game would translate to the NBA. Some said he was too slow. Others argued he would get bullied by stronger, more physical centers. Columnist Bill Simmons even wrote, "Years from now, we'll remember choosing Yao Ming over Jay Williams the same way we remember picking Sam Bowie over Michael Jordan." Some scouts acknowledged his shooting touch and his footwork, but their praise always came with a question. Is that really what you want from someone who's 7'6"? And from the very beginning, Yao faced challenges. Obligations to the Chinese national team forced him to miss Houston's training camp. This is what the Rockets coach, Rudy Tomjanovich, had to say about it.
First 2 weeks of training camp where you put in your nuts and bolts of your philosophy, your offense, your defense, he missed all that.
The impact was clear. In 2 of his first 4 NBA games, Yao failed to score a single point. His struggles only fueled the critics. Yao, however, stayed calm. In an early interview, he said, "I should stay confident. Everyone has to start somewhere. What matters most is where you are aiming." But by mid-November, patience was running thin. The number 1 pick looked overmatched. Houston fans wanted answers. The media piled on, and TNT's studio crew, they had their own opinions. For Kenny Smith, the optimism remained. He believed Yao's skills would eventually shine, but Charles Barkley, he wasn't buying it, and what he said next would cement this story in NBA history. By mid-November 2002, Yao Ming had become a nightly talking point on TNT. His size was undeniable, his potential was intriguing, but his box scores, at least in those first few weeks, weren't convincing anyone. On November 7th, Yao went scoreless against Seattle. 2 nights later, he managed just 3 points. For most analysts, that was enough evidence, but not for Kenny Smith. Kenny argued that Yao's skill set was too good to ignore. He believed Yao would soon break through. And during one studio segment, Kenny made a bold statement. Yao's going to score 19 in a game this year. That's when Charles Barkley jumped in. Never one to hold back. That's when Barkley turned Kenny's prediction into a wager.
Are we gonna make the bet?
Yao Ming, big
He
night.
said Yao Ming gonna get 19 points. If he gets
On
19
Saturday night?
points in the game, I'll kiss his ass right here if he gets 19 points in the game.
No, don't score, Yao Ming. That's right. You're right. Just have a bad game. Do you know?
And it wasn't just a joke. This was national television. Millions of fans heard it. The press picked it up. Suddenly, Yao Ming's box scores weren't just stats. They were a countdown to Charles Barkley's humiliation. At first, the bet seemed safe. Yao had yet to crack double digits in scoring. He looked timid, even lost at times. Barkley, as usual, sounded confident. But basketball has a way of humbling even the loudest voices. And just a few days later, Yao Ming would deliver a performance that no one, not even Barkley, could ignore. Now back to the Lakers game, November 17th, 2002. The Houston Rockets were in Los Angeles to face the struggling Lakers. Without Shaq on the floor, all eyes were on Kobe Bryant to carry his team. But for one player, it was a chance to show the NBA what he could do. Yao's first minutes were cautious. He spent most of the first quarter on the bench adjusting. But in the second quarter, everything changed. He scored 12 points in the second quarter alone, displaying the soft touch, precise footwork, and basketball IQ that caught scouts' attention. Suddenly, doubts began to fade. Yao wasn't just tall, he was skilled. He could handle the ball, read defenses, and convert under pressure. Despite his strong showing, he sat out most of the third quarter as Houston's rotation shifted. Steve Francis and Cuttino Mobley carried the scoring load, keeping the Rockets within striking distance. As the fourth quarter began, Houston trailed by 5. Yao returned to the court with purpose. Each possession mattered. Each basket brought him closer to a number that had become legendary: 19 points. With just under 2 minutes left, Yao dunks it and pushed him to 19 points and put Houston in the lead. In that instant, Charles Barkley's infamous bet had been won by the rookie himself. The crowd erupted. His teammates cheered. And in the studio, Kenny's prediction and Barkley's bet came true, cementing a moment destined to live forever in NBA lore. This wasn't just a stat line, it was a proof that Yao Ming belonged in the NBA, and it was the moment a skeptical league became believers. Just 4 days after Yao Ming's breakout performance against the Lakers, it was time for Charles Barkley to face the consequences of his own words. TNT's Listen Up show aired before the Rockets' next game, and the infamous bet was the main topic. Millions of viewers tuned in, wondering, would Barkley actually go through with it?
I went out and bought an ass and kissed my ass right here on national TV. Like, I need some lipstick and punk her up. Kiss my ass.
Kenny.
I said, how can I win and still win? This is how
Kenny, you trying to humiliate me.
No, I'm saying, no, it would be more humiliating if you kissed me than, so I said I'd buy an ass.
Okay. You know what? I'm a man of my word.
You're a man of your word.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna kick him. He's gonna kick him.
Not exactly what the donkey wanted to hear.
He's gonna kick him. He kissed him. Yes.
True to his word, Barkley didn't shy away. Backstage, Yao Ming's reaction was priceless. He watched on a monitor, barely able to contain his laughter. He had scored those 19 points, not for glory, not for accolades, but indirectly for a bet that had become a national sensation. The moment was more than comedy. It was symbolic. It marked the beginning of Yao Ming's acceptance in the NBA, the playful side of Charles Barkley's broadcasting persona, and a reminder of how sports moments can transcend the game itself. For Barkley, it was humiliation, but the kind that entertained millions. For Yao, it was a turning point, a validation that he belonged among the world's best players. Yao Ming's career was far more than a single breakout game or a 19-point performance. He became an 8-time All-Star, a Hall of Famer, and a global ambassador who bridged the NBA and China, inspiring a new generation of international players. And as for Charles Barkley, that donkey kiss became legendary, a lighthearted reminder that even the most confident voices in sports can be humbled. Barkley embraced it, laughing about it for years, and making the moment part of his legend. It remains one of the funniest, and most human moments in NBA history. Proof that sports, for all its drama and stakes, is also about moments that make us laugh, cheer, and remember why we love the game. Today, Yao is remembered not just for his size or his skills, but for the grace, resilience, and impact he brought to the game. By the end of his 8 seasons in the NBA with the Houston Rockets, Yao averaged 1.6 assists, 9.2 rebounds, and 19 points